Hi guys, welcome back to another beautiful video. To my returning subscribers, big up on yourself, love on it, love on it, love on it loads. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for always supporting my channel. To my new subscribers, or if you're visiting for the first time, welcome. So my name is Annakay and I am a registered nurse here living in the UK, migrated from Jamaica. So most things I give you is regarding nursing here in the UK, but I also do a little bit of vlog here and there. Look fun, right? Look work and look fun. Alright guys, so today we are going to be talking about our Tier 2 visa or skilled worker visa. Alright, so if you're interested to learn more about your skilled worker visa before you apply, or even those who are already holding a skilled worker visa, then stay tuned. Alright, thanks for staying tuned guys, so welcome back. Alright, so the two terms you will hear are Tier 2 visa and you have the skilled worker visa. They're the same thing. Alright guys, so the former name was Tier 2 visa. They have now changed the name to skilled worker visa. So if you've seen information about these two, maybe videos that I've done previously, it's pretty much the same visa, okay, just a change of name. Alright, so talking about the skilled worker visa, this video I'm probably gonna do it in two parts. So the other part in part 2 I'll be talking about those who are already here on a skilled worker visa, the do's and the don'ts, and just things to know about being on a skilled worker visa. Alright, but for those who have not yet applied or in the process of applying for a skilled worker visa, here goes. So actually, to be considered for the skilled worker visa, they've started a new points-based system now, where you have to sort of score 70 points and above to be eligible for the skilled worker visa. But those who are applying via like an agency and so on, they would already covered most of the things that you need to top you up to actually land you in that 70 points. So you won't have to worry about that too much if you're under an agency trying to get to the UK to work. Okay. Apart from that, the eligibility for the skilled worker visa, and I will be looking down at my paper from time to time for my notes. Okay guys, so bear with me. So the eligibility for the skilled worker visa, you need to basically apply for it if you want to work in the UK. Alright, so that's first thing first. So work as a UK employer, and the employer that is employing you to work in the UK needs to be registered under the Home Office, that they're eligible, they've got a license eligible to actually employ people to come here to live and work in the UK. Okay, they have to hold the applicant needs to hold what we call a COS, which is a certificate of sponsorship. Now this COS you will get from your employer. So that employer that you would have applied to the job to work in the UK will produce a document called a certificate of sponsorship to you. You need that document. A lot of things on the document is what you will need to apply when you're doing your Home Office application. So the job that you're applying for needs to be on the short list of occupations, and that's usually how they're qualified, all right, to apply as a skilled worker visa. They need to be on a short list of occupational jobs in the UK. So you can search the gov.uk website to see there's a list there of jobs that are on the short list occupation, right? And those jobs that are on a short list occupation would also have a code, and so that code is what you will also need, and your employers will, like I said, already have these codes. You need to be earning, the job that you're applying for needs to be a minimum salary. So there's three things, and one of three. So the minimum salary needs to be £26,200 or £10.75 per hour. Or the other one is the going rate of the job. So for example, if the going rate of the job is 30,000k, and this is annum, so this is per year, but your employer is paying you 27k, then you won't be eligible. So it's whichever one that is higher. So the going rate of the job or the annual pay, whichever one is higher, that's what the Home Office will go with. Okay, so depending on the job, basically, regardless whether you'll be the rate of the job or just the annual pay of the job. You need to be able to speak, read, and write English, basically. So there's and you need proof of that. So a lot of countries you do the IELTS exam, and there'll be other exams if you've got like English language certificates from certain areas, certain countries, then you'll be able to use those. So there's all, and you need to provide proof of those, basically. So on here is a list of countries that you don't need to provide proof of English. So there are on the gov.co.uk website, there are a list of countries like you've seen here that you don't need to provide English. They are English speaking countries and you don't need to provide proof of English if you're from these following countries. And that's the eligibility. The duration of the visa. Now this visa can last up to 5 years. Some employer will apply for like a 3 years or some will 5 years. But the maximum of this visa is basically 5 years. And you after the 5 years you can apply for settlement, which is what they call the ILR, which is the indefinite leave to remain. So if you have a 3 years visa under this skilled worker visa, you can apply for an update at the end of the 3 for the other remaining 2 years or another 3 years, right? But after 5 years, you are eligible to apply directly for indefinite leave to remain. So obviously with that there will come other requirements, and that might be in other video. All right, but we're just dealing with the skilled worker visa at the moment. So after 5 years, you're eligible to apply, and there are some rules and regulations in terms of once you have not breached those Home Office rules and regulations, then there's no reason why you wouldn't be granted your indefinite leave to remain. So there are things that you need to follow by. There's a do's and don'ts. Like I said, in part 2, we'll cover the do's and don'ts of the skilled worker visa. So once you have not breached any of those, you can go ahead and apply for your indefinite leave to remain, which gives you permanent right to live, work and study in the UK, and then you can at that time accept or apply for benefits or receive benefits from the state. So on your skilled worker visa, you're not allowed any public funding. However, as I said, that will come in the part 2 video. Okay, I'll give you the do's and the don'ts. But once you get your indefinite leave to remain, your ILR, you are allowed public funding, you're allowed everything that you can do as a regular resident within the UK, somebody that was born here then. Okay, then you have on the skilled worker visa, sometimes people apply under a job but they might decide to change job. If you decide to change your job under the skilled worker visa, you can. However, you need to reapply. So that employer for the job that you're applying to would need to produce the same things that you had before. So the cost and all of those things, you need those to apply for this new job that you're applying for. All right. Also on the skilled worker visa, you can apply for your partner, the husband, wife, or your spouse. They don't have to be married, and your children to join you to live in the UK and work as well. So you can apply for what they call a dependent visa. All right, and that's another topic for another day. Okay, but yeah, you can apply for the dependent visa. How long does it take? So the duration, the application will take you 3 weeks if you are outside of the UK, but 8 weeks if you're inside of the UK. All right, but when you're applying, like once you get your job, you need to apply for your skilled worker visa 3 months prior to the starting of that job, basically. So if you get a job, for example, today it's now October 2023, and you need to apply, and your job say that you're going to start work. What's that now? November, December, January. So now is when you would apply, right? So you're going to start work February. Between now until November is when you're going to apply. Okay, for the skilled worker. How much does it cost? All right, so the cost, it varies. There is, if you're applying independently for the skilled worker, or if you're applying under an agency, or you're applying under the healthcare workers, so like doctors and nurses, for example. So application fees, and I think I will show something with the application fees here. Application fees can cost up to 3 years. Is it £515? But I will just find a link and show you on the government website here as to how much the applications are costing. So there is what they call the surge healthcare fee as well, and that's if you're not applying under like a healthcare worker. So those who are just general skilled worker but not a healthcare. So obviously there's other occupations besides the healthcare. Even though I know that my background is nursing, there's other skilled occupations that are not under the healthcare. So if you're not under the healthcare, basically you would have an application fee to pay, a healthcare surge to pay each year, and that's usually like £624. And then you basically have to prove that you have personal savings of up to £1,270, and that amount needs to already be in your account for 28 days prior to you applying for the visa. Understood? So this is persons that are applying that are not under the healthcare, like the doctors and the nurse. You're not a doctor, you're not a nurse. If you're applying, your fee would be like £515, I believe it is, per person, up to 3 years, and then 3 years and above it's like £1,000+ pounds. I think £1,024, something like that. Okay, but if you are applying as a doctor or nurse in the healthcare worker, it's generally cheaper, and the employer will foot that cost for you. So in that aspect, I believe it's like £284 per person up to 3 years, and like £551 per person over 3 years if the employer is applying for you under the healthcare worker. But besides that, like I said, it's more costly for you. So if you're not under the healthcare, there's one here that says £719 per person, £625 per year for the healthcare surge, and then the £1,270 savings that should have already been in your account for at least 28 days prior to you applying. Okay, sorry, paper. So the documents that you will need, clearly, like I was talking to you about the cost, you will definitely need a certificate of sponsorship from that employer, your passport, of course, with at least a page, 2 full pages that they could put the stamp in. Okay, proof of your English language, and I already told you the IELTS, and in those countries that you don't have to provide English language proof, then you don't. You need a job title. All these things will be on your cost. The job title, the annual salary, because that's also makes you eligible, right? So the annual salary needs to be on there. The sponsor's license, which is, again, I said, is on the cost. The sponsorship license is there. You will also need a criminal record clearance from your home country. And if you've lived in more than 1 country within a year, you would need criminal record clearance for both the countries that you've lived in, or however many countries that you've lived in within the year. But you need a criminal record, all right? And then if you're applying for your spouse and your children to come, you need proof of relation. So proof of, obviously, if you're married, it's easier. Clearly, you'd have your marriage certificate, and if you've got children, you've got a birth certificate. But if not, then you have these other requirements on the website. Once you start your application, they will show you the things that what they would accept as proof that you are the relation to that person, basically. So those are some of the things so far regarding your skilled worker visa, and I will be doing a part 2 at some point regarding the do's and don'ts of the skilled worker visa for those who are already on your skilled worker visa. I do get a lot of questions asking about particularly the 20+ hours work week. Like, are you allowed to work 20 hours or more inside, outside of that same job that you've applied? I will follow up with a part 2 in that video at another time. But so far, that is it for your skilled worker visa. You can check the gov.uk website. All the materials, all the requirements, all the documentation, they're all there, and it's very straightforward. You can start your application there as well. I will probably try and put the link in the description below for the gov.uk website, where you can go and read up the information and also apply. Okay, so like I said, it's a bit more expensive if you're not applying under a healthcare worker, but you've got another skilled job. However, if you are under an agency, usually they would really submit or help you, assist you in every way, with everything that you need for this application. And can I also say, as a disclaimer, as talking about that, I am not an immigration officer. I don't work with the Home Office. These are just information that you're privy to, as well as I'm privy to, because I would have read it on the Gov website or other places. All right, so it's just personal research done, and these are some information that I gather. So I'm not a Home Office officer. I don't work in the Home Office, and I don't do anything legal in terms of coming to the UK. These are just information that you're privy to, I'm privy to. I'm just making it easier for you using this YouTube platform. Okay, guys, so if you found this video helpful, please do like, share, and comment below if there's anything that you could help us with as well. What was your experience when you were applying for your skilled worker visa? Do let us know. All right, and thanks again, guys, for always supporting, for coming back. Remember, we need a thumbs up, the comments below, and please to subscribe if you found this video helpful, and share with your friends. So until the next video, until part 2 of the skilled worker visa, or if there's anything else that you want to know about the skilled worker visa, drop a comment below and I will try my best to answer it. I'll try my best to do a video on it, okay, if possible. Until next time, have a good day. With Jamaica, what I say, walk good. God bless you. Bye.